Hey guys, welcome to this video. Today we are going to study a little bit more about for loop. Let's guys take an example for better understanding of this loop. Suppose guys we are asked to write a program that inputs a number from the user and check whether this number is a palindrome or not. So first of all, what is palindrome? For example, if I have a number, this number is a palindrome. Notice if we start reading from this side or this side, the same 6 to 5, and if we start reading from this side 6 to 5, so the same. So this number is palindrome. Either we read from this side or this side 6 6 2 2 then 5 5. So this is a palindrome. Or if we start writing from this side reverse, if a number and its reverse is same, then that number is a palindrome. See, if we write the reverse of this number, first we will write this 6, then this 2, then this 5, then again this 2, and then again this 6. Notice these both numbers are same, the number and its reverse is same, so this is a palindrome. Similarly, 131, this is also a palindrome. 1313, if we write its reverse 1, then this 3, and this again 1, so it is the same number. So if the number and the reverse of that number is same, then it means that number is a palindrome. So we will use this logic. First we will calculate the reverse of the number entered by this user, and we will compare that number with the actual number. If the reverse of that number and the actual number is same, then that number is a palindrome. So guys, let's start coding this program. We have to declare a couple of variables for this purpose. In n, num for number with, and we have used to need a remainder variable, and we have to reverse the number. So reverse number, which is equal to 0. Now we will take input from the user, cout enter the number. End of line. Abstraction operator scene used to take input from the keyboard. Console in, it will take input from the console window. Scene num, semicolon. We have to use for loop. So for keyword, then initialization, n is equal to num, then num, while num not equal to 0, we will keep executing this loop. Then we have to decrease the value of num is equal to number divided by 10, then the body of the for loop. Now remainder is equal to num divided by modulus. We have to take modulus by 10. and then reverse number is equal to reverse number multiplied by 10 plus remainder. So this is the simple logic to calculate the reverse of a number. So this loop will calculate the reverse of the number entered by the user. Now we will compare the our actual number with reversed number. If these both are same, then we will show that it is a palindrome. Cout n is a palindrome. Or else if number is and actual number and reverse number is not same, then in else block we will say that it is not a palindrome. Is not a palindrome. So guys, let's execute this program to see whether it works fine or not. Let's suppose I entered 131. 131 is a palindrome, so our program is working fine because 131 and its reverse is same, so it is a palindrome. Let's enter another number. Palindrome, so it is also a palindrome because the reverse of this number is also same. So our code is working correctly. Let's enter any number which is not palindrome. 145, so it is not a palindrome. So 149 is not a palindrome. So our logic is working fine. So guys, what we have to do, first we will calculate the reverse of the number, and then we will check if the actual number and the reverse of the number is same, then it means it is a palindrome. Otherwise it is not a palindrome. Let's suppose we have entered, the user have entered 131 in num variable. Then in for loop we are assigning this value of num, which is 131, to this n variable. Why? Because we are changing the value of this number variable, and we will need this actual value for after this to compare with the reverse number. So I have stored the actual value in this n variable so that we can compare it with reverse number. So 131 assigned to this one n variable now, and contain 131, and num contain 131. So 131 is not equal to 0. Yes, so this condition becomes true. Control enter the body of the loop. Remainder num modulus 10. So if we take 131, this is the modulo operator, returns remainder. So the remainder is 1. So remainder, if we take modulus of 131 with 10, then the remainder will be 1. So here this will return 1. So remainder now contain 1. So the reverse number is equal to reverse number contains 0. 0 multiplied by 10, 0. Plus remainder contains 1. So this 0 plus 1, 1. So reverse number now contains 1. Our loop is terminating, so the control will shift here, and it will divide num, which is 131, by 10. So what is the answer? If we divide 131 by 10, then the answer will be 13.1. So its answer is 13.1. So now num contain, notice here our num is an integer variable. So it will not, it will only take its integral part, not its fractional part. So this point 1 is a fractional part. It will not stored. Will not be stored in the integer variable. Only this 13 integral part will be stored. So now our num will contain 13. Point 1 will be not be stored in this integer variable because it is an integer. So it will ignore the floating part. So only 13 will be saved in this. So now num contain 13. Again remainder 13 modulus 10. What will be one remainder? 10 ones are 10. Remainder will be 3. So remainder now contain 3. So reverse number is equal to reverse number contains 1. With the previous value of reverse number was 1. 1 multiplied by 10, which is equal to 10, plus remainder contains 3. 10 plus 3, which is equal to 13. So now reverse number contains 13. Again our loop is ending. Again the control shift here. Now the num contains a value of 13. 13 divided by 10. If we divide 13 by 10, which will be equal to 1.3. So because num is an integer variable, it will only take its integral part. So only 1 will be stored in this num variable. So num now contain 1. So again this condition will be checked. 1 is equal to 0. 1 not equal to 0. Yes, 1 is not equal to 0. So this condition becomes true. Control enter the body of the loop. Remainder is equal to num. Num now contains 1 modulus 10, 1. So 1, any number less than this will be same modulus. So 1, its now remainder will be 1. So 1 is stored, 1 modulus 10, so remainder will be 1. So 1 is stored in this remainder variable. So reverse number contains 13. 13 plus 10, 130. Plus remainder contains 1. Here remainder contains the value of 1. So 13, reverse number contains 13. Previous its value was 13 multiplied by 10, which is equal to 130, plus this remainder which contains 131. This becomes 131. So again the control will come here. Now our num contains a value of 1. If we divide 1 by 10, its answer will be 0.1. So as num is an integer variable, so it will only take its integral parts, 0.1. So it will take only 0. So now num contains 0. So the value num contains 0. Then again check the condition. 0 not equal to 0. No, 0 is equal to 0. So our condition becomes 0 not equal to 0. Our condition becomes false because 0 is equal to 0. So the control will skip the body of the loop and come here. And n contain 131. And our reverse number now contains the value of 131. So 131 is equal to 131. So it is displayed on the console window that 131 is a palindrome. See, one thirty one is a palindrome. So guys, this is it for this video. Thanks for watching.